Are we honestly sure that WCW lost the Monday Night Wars? I'm John Rethlin with my review of WWE Raw, and I ask that because fucking hell, this show was a whole lot like a bad WCW Nitro episode. Almost as bad as WCW Thunder, but at least some stuff was actually happening on this show. SmackDown is more like Thunder right now. But realistically, this, good God, if it wasn't for wanting to support the talents that I like on Raw, SmackDown, and even NXT, I probably would not even bother watching WWE because it's just so bad. It's so badly thrown together. There's some good stuff going on, a couple good feuds, but it's just in a sea of fucking bullshit. And this goddamn show was put together by just throwing a bunch of ideas in the goddamn blender, mixing it around, and then serving it to you. It's like, okay, hey, we're going to put some shit in it, and then we're going to put more shit in it, and you guys are going to drink it. It's a good thing they also don't have the ability to have fans, in the arena and just have the Thunderdome, because I can't imagine they would be able to draw more than a third of the capacity of any arena they wanted to run around the country. This is a really bad product right now. I'm not saying AEW doesn't have its faults, and I'm not saying New Japan doesn't have its faults, but good God, WWE, for all the advantages, all the budget, the huge budgets that they have, and for all the talents, for everything that they have, what the fuck? What was this? What was this shit? I mean, they're repeating so much of the same stuff. Anyway, I hate the theme. The theme is absolute shit. It's not even good rap. It's some of the worst rap that I've heard. Who the fuck sings that? They need to go back to whatever school they went to or whatever, training they had for singing and ask for a goddamn refund because they aren't any fucking good. So, Survivor Series, the best of the best. The one night of the year where Raw and SmackDown go head to head. Here's Orton. He's a 14-time world champion. He talks about why he's the best of the best. The whole best of the best thing gets beaten into your head. God, it's like your head's like a goddamn drum. They just keep hitting you over the head with it. It's like Vince McMahon thinks that the fans are children. Now, there are some children watching, but I can't imagine that any child would be able to stay awake for a full 3 hours of Raw like this. I used to watch this stuff when it was an hour. Like, I used to watch the syndicated stuff before Raw came along. I was 12 years old when Raw came along. It didn't become 2 hours until what? Was it 96? Or was it 97? I think it was sometime in 96, 97. And then the 3-hour format, doing it occasionally is one thing, but God, it's so fucking draining. He says he's not the legend killer, he is a legend. I am legend. Yeah, well, Orton, let me tell you right now, it's probably a good thing that you decide to just be a legend. Maybe you can, I don't know, you RKO yourself somehow. Maybe you can do that. Maybe you can spice it up and somehow make yourself interesting. Because after 20 years, I can't name one interesting thing about a Randy Orton title reign that, of any that have happened. I can't. It's not that Orton is a bad athlete. He's a very good athlete. He has had some really cool moments. But he coasts so goddamn often, I just don't give a shit about the guy. I do want to say, though, the WWE Untold with Undertaker and Randy Orton was pretty damn good. And then he actually says the WW Superstars, because Orton just can't be bothered to give a fuck anymore. Alexa then shows up, and she has the pain and play gloves, like hurt and heal, because she's the little munchkin version of the Fiend. The Fiendette, if you will. It's like Smurfette. You ever wonder why Smurfette was the only, female Smurf in the Smurf village? Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. Think about why they didn't have any blue balls right there. Think about that. I'm going to make this as uncomfortable as possible. So she says, oh, he could be here. And then the light show, the Fiend's music, it's all the spoopiness. And then Drew attacks him and says, I dare you, Randy, to give me my rematch. And then he says, no. And then he's like, just nobody's beating you but me. And then Miz and Morrison show up after Drew gets back to the stage. And Miz tries to cash in. And then Drew lays them both out and says, nobody's beating Orton but me. Honestly, this probably was one of the high points of the show, which is saying something because Orton was allowed to cut a promo for so goddamn long. But at least they're trying to do something with the Drew-Orton feud that should have ended 2 pay-per-views ago, in all honesty. All right. Back from break, Orton got his lick in on Randy Orton, a quote from Byron Saxton. Miz and Morrison are yelling, and apparently Morrison was possessed by Tyson Kidd, the good Tyson Kidd, not the Tyson Kidd that, was thankfully able to walk and rest and everything. But the Tyson Kidd that was wrestling and kept saying fact all the goddamn time. Or maybe he's a fan of Facts of Life. I have no goddamn idea what Morrison's on anymore. I hope that money was really fucking worth it. Because good God, he could be doing so much better than this. At least in the ring. But maybe he's happy. He's beat up his body enough, so it is what it is. And then Elias is strumming his lengthy instrument, until it's raw. Boy, this is going to be uncomfortable for USA Network censors. Then Jeff interrupts. Now we have the match. So, okay, we have a boring Randy Orton promo that actually spiced up a little bit with an attempt to cash in and Drew looking like a dominant beast. How do you follow that up? You apparently rehire Vince Russo because you're having Jeff Hardy versus Elias and a guitar on a pole match. Now, the winner must successfully smash their opponent to win. So they must smash them from behind and the front, doesn't matter. Whether they're willing, not willing, something about this got weird on me. The whole point is you're supposed to smash the guitar into your opponent to win. You don't have to pin him. You don't have to submit him. You have to hit them with the guitar. Keep that in mind. Elias, by the way, then pulls, the villain from Screaming Skull. He hurls his hard stool at Jeff Hardy. It's a really hard stool. He should use some stool softener. He told Jeff to have a seat. And, yeah, shout out, Bobby, by the way, thank you for that joke. And then they go to break, and this was such shit. Jeff, by the way, then gets the guitar eventually and smashes Elias. You need to smash your opponent to win. But then he covers them 1, 2, 3. They forgot their own rules within, the first part of this and the latter part. It was like, oh, fuck, Jeff, just cover him. Fuck it, who cares? Nobody's going to pay attention to these rules, except fans like me that will point out this shit. I love wrestling, but good God, what was this? And then we have Mandy and Dana working out backstage, doing the band thing, stretching their muscles, stretching and everything, and flexing all the glistening muscles and everything, and all the blondie and everything. And I swear to God, this was a Vince McMahon wet dream, him putting two blondes together. Nothing against Mandy, and not even anything against Dana. I'm not saying Dana's very good, but it's just, this is a team that's so fucking thrown together. They took on Shayna and Nia, Women's Tag Team Championship match. This was messy. By the way, Lana shows up right at the beginning of this just to insult everybody's intelligence more. And I'm referring to Lana as an on-screen character. I have nothing against the person. I think it's terrible that they're using, her to get beat up to spite Miro. I'll talk about that a little bit later. At this point, it's got to be spite. There's no fucking way that they can actually think this is good television. So I'm making me feel sorry for the Lana character. I didn't want to see her on TV in 2020 at all. But my God, this is terrible. Messy. It was absolutely messy. And Lana tries to interfere, screws that up because Lana's a clueless twat in the goddamn ring. The character, not the person. She can't fucking do anything. Get Lana off of the goddamn screen. Just pay her to sit home. Pay her to sit home and Twitch or something. The gaming Twitch, that is. And then Shayna decides to just scissor Dana from behind. She loves doing that to blonde women. And gets the victory. And then no Lana through the table. Right now. And then Orton he just sounds like he doesn't fucking care at all. Why did Charlie have messy hair? What was she doing before this? I'm not complaining. I'm just saying whoever was involved, good for them. And, Jesus, the three most dangerous layers, SRU surprise roll-up, shout out to Catwoman 13 for that. Because, yes, the most devastating maneuver in all of professional wrestling surprise roll-up is it's the three most dangerous letters. It's also the laziest finish they could come up with. So naturally, WWE keeps doing it. So is AEW and so is New Japan. But it's just, it's freaking insane just how much it's spread over so many wrestling companies. So, Truth then mentions Bobby Boucher because Vince McMahon just found out the Water Boy exists. And that was back in 1998 talking about Bobby Lashley signing his water bottle. Truth versus Lashley. Champ versus champ. I love Truth as a person. And he's doing the best he can. And Lashley is in phenomenal shape as well. Both these guys are, in prime shape, despite the fact that they've been wrestling for years and years and years. Hurt Lock for the win. And then Gulak gets in, and then Lashley decides to toss him around. He's going cracker tossing. And he gets trapped in the Hurt Lock, or the full Lashley, or the full Mount Lashley, or the full mounting. I have no idea what they call it anymore. And then he throws Gulak on Truth, and Gulak tops him 1, 2, 3, and gets the 24/7 championship. Why is the championship still a thing? Like, in all seriousness, you can use these guys better. There are plenty of championships, and you're just spreading them way too goddamn thin. You got enough of a roster, even with some people staying home, or some people, that keep contracting a certain virus at the PC training there, because people like Road Dogg, that goddamn piece of shit, doesn't believe the masks work. Apparently, he doesn't believe his brain works either. I mean, then again, he's a Trumper, and anybody who's a Trumper, your brain doesn't fucking work. And if you happen to be a Trumper and you're watching my videos, hi, I'm going to continue to insult you fuckers until you don't like it anymore and unsubscribe. I don't care anymore, because I'm fucking done. I'm fucking done. I've cut out family members of mine, so what fucking chance do you guys have to get through to me? None. You don't. So, Road Dogg, fucking idiot. And he left Twitter. Good. See ya, wouldn't want to be ya. Road Dogg, I wish Brad was still here instead of you. Moving on. This was not good. Lucha House Party runs into Styles and his help, Jordan, not the movie The Help, and then they say, no, we're going to go this way. You go that way. I'll go home. And then Sarah interviews Nia. Well, don't mention Lana's name around Nia. Don't even think about her name in her presence. An actual line from Nia right there. What happened to Sarah's personality? Why did they not make her have any more personality? She has great personality on Instagram and actually has, a bubbly energy to her. And they made her apparently forget to have that, on TV, which I don't get. Give the interviewers more of a chance to have energy. And then you can say, hey, this interview is important. I need to pay attention. But if it looks like you're making somebody act like a robot, what the fuck's the point? Why should the fans care? And then, so she will be, basically, Nia says she's going to beat Lana so bad that she'll be off Team Raw and she'll end her career. If it takes Lana, the character, off TV, I'm actually not opposed to it. I never thought I'd say that about Nia. So then Styles cuts a promo while leaving his hired help around the ropes. Man, he really is a Caucasian Southern boy, isn't he? 12 years of Styles is what we're about to get. So then he says, my intangibles have intangibles. That is not how words work, AJ. And then he's going to get the rally going, probably a white rally, knowing AJ. And he gets, he says, Sheamus and Keith Lee need to come down here. And Sheamus and Lee are here. It's like, you're the best of the best. Once again, Captain AJ, and his ship is full of seamen, which means he has problems still with the gay community. And I'm not going to let that go because he decided to be a fucking idiot about it. So then Lee, according to Sheamus, Lee needs to go to the back of the line. That's probably not a good line to say. And then he said, it's going to be me. It should have been me. Ziggler, what the fuck are you even doing here? And Braun is talking about wanting to be part of Team Raw because he suddenly appears here. And then Getty Images Pierce, that's what I'm going to just fucking call him. Bobby, thanks again for that. That's a great nickname. I like Adam Pierce, and he's actually pretty good in interviews. He is not a good authority figure at all. He's not Mike Adamle, dear God. When I saw Mike Adamle live right before he was kicked off of the show, if you thought he had no personality on TV, he was even worse in person. Poor guy. But, yeah, he says, hey, it's going to be Braun versus Lee versus Sheamus. If Braun wins, he's on Team Raw. And we get that match. Nearly 100 pounds of huge manatees, which, you know what? A manatee in the ring would actually probably be better than Braun. It would be more intelligent. It wouldn't be the Proud Boy Braun that he is. That's what I'm calling him. I'm calling him Proud Boy Strowman. Goddamn guy showing up to a maskless rally because he just has to be a goddamn idiot that thinks he's so goddamn smart because America... I'm not surprised he needs guns that big, because he probably ain't packing much of a gun himself, if you know what I mean. I'm going to keep taking shots at Trumpers if they don't like it, because, hi, I'm an angry American, and I know what's right. It ain't you guys. Styles is on commentary, by the way, and, yeah, it was weird how Styles and Joe were so civil on commentary. Oh, Wendy! And then Lee almost brains himself on the goddamn apron. Never do that move again, please. I mean, like Keith Lee will listen to me. That was bad. That was really, really bad. Grimy, dirty, and in your face, Joe says about Braun's offense. Joe, however you get down is your business. And then we get a stair spot. We get announcers tables. We get barricade spot, and then commercials. Braun smashes both men to the barricade and instant commercial. They need to time these commercial breaks better. If these shows are live, time them better. If they're taped, then you really need to time them better. Like, because you tape them, you can actually, say, oh, hey, we'll take a break here and da-da-da. But even if they're live, you got to pace this shit out better. Superplex crash by all three. Man, I fucking tell you that Lee took a lot of bumps here. I hope that they give him a couple weeks off until Survivor Series. Let him rest. I know Survivor Series is only 20 days away. By the way, the one night of the year where Raw and SmackDown go head-to-head, and it's the best of the best. Styles, by the way, then says to Sheamus, bend it, don't break it. I don't really need to say anything else there, do I? Do I really need to say it? Styles pretty much summed it up right there. And then standing belly-to-belly by Lee to Sheamus. Sheamus is not a small guy. He's like 260, 265, just throws him. And then a slam. Camera cuts the commentary, and we cut back right in time to see the three. So Sheamus gets pinned. And then a show of solidarity. Now we get more yelling. Then everybody attacks everybody. Styles attacks Lee to get him out of the ring. He's like, what? We need to show solidarity. And then Styles not understanding how solidarity or the spherical, range of the planet works. Because he thinks the Earth is flat, is what I'm trying to say. So, Garza is apparently flirting with the camera person. This rose is for you. Okay? Why are they doing this with him? Why? They have him wrestle. Garza's pretty good in the ring. Recaps of Undertaker tombstoning a scarecrow on Jimmy Fallon. He's gonna need a goddamn Undertaker if they don't let him just fucking rest at home. I know it was a safe spot, but still. And then Drew says, Orton has a 6'5", handsome, guardian angel watching his back. And he's gonna have a 2-for-1 special for Miz and Morrison. More like a Drew for 1 special. Can't wait for people to really, get upset at me for that. And then, the Funhouse, we get a swear jar. Apparently Alexa, despite not being taller than any of the puppets, is dictating to them how they should act and not swear and everything and stuff like that. This is an AEW. You can't swear all the time. Abby the Witch and the Pig, I think, were the ones swearing. I refuse to care. I don't. And then they reference the Bray Orton feud, which, look, I get it. The Fiend's supposed to right the wrongs in Bray Wyatt's career. Here's the problem. Rusev, well, no, not Rusev. Ambrose is gone and a few other people are gone. So you're eventually going to run out of shit to do here. You're going to run out of shit to do. So you probably should try and tweak this a little bit. I understand what they're doing, and it seems like these two are having a blast. Bray and Alexa. That's great. I don't give a shit. I'm over the Funhouse thing. And then they give, apparently, Bray saying a line, Alexa, is pleasuring herself. Okay, moving on. Glitter, glitz, sparkle, bliss almighty. And then gives her weird spoopy contacts. She's all spoopy and everything. And then Peyton and Lacey are cutting a promo before this match. Why did they break up the Iconics just to put Peyton in a random tag team? I just don't fucking get it. Why did they fucking do this? What was the fucking reason for this? I don't fucking get it. Do you fucking get it? Does anybody fucking get it? Poor Billy and Peyton. Billy may be pushed pretty well on SmackDown. I have no goddamn idea. Watch them put her in a tag team with Natalya. And I love Natalya. I'm just saying watch them do that just to say fuck it when the Iconics had great chemistry. Lacey can be good on her own. Peyton can be even great on her own. You're not going to find that out if you put them in a random tag team for no fucking reason. They both look like they're they'd rather be anywhere else. Not that they have anything against each other, but they broke up the Iconics just to put Peyton in a random tag team. I don't fucking get it. Lana versus Nia. When Nia is a better worker, that is bad. When the announcer's table is a better worker than Lana and less wooden, then that is a bad thing. Samoan drop for 3. And Lana got it from both sides a lot during this match. And then table spot to spite Miro. Let me just say this much. Lana signed the contract. She didn't need to sign a 5-year contract, but it's stupid money. What the fuck else was she going to do? Nobody else was going to take her in wrestling because she was barely more competent than Brandy Rhodes in the goddamn ring. They already have a Brandy Rhodes in AEW. She's called Brandy Rhodes. They already have enough women, there that can't wrestle, like Brandy. What I'm trying to say is Brandy Rhodes is absolute shit. Lana going to AEW eventually, if they let her out of her contract, it'd be fucking stupid. If she's happy with what she's doing, fine. I don't feel any sympathy for her. The character's beating the powder. It's just fucking stupid. And then the Hurt Business is in the ring. Then Lashley and Zayn, they hype that thing up. And then they're collecting their payment in the form of tag team gold. They're going to face a New Day. Kobe and Xavier mock the ages of everybody except Cedric. And they say, Cedric, you're doing good. You'll get there eventually. And then they mention 8 seconds, which is how long Bobby can last. Sex jokes. That's coming in Raw. This took forever, by the way. So, by the way, before I continue this, because I'm almost done, let me just rip these notes here. So I thought about the first 2 hours of Raw right there. There. Just throw all that around. Okay, by the way, Chrisley knows best ads. Let me just say this much. When your family treats a straight line like the Chrisleys, you probably shouldn't be throwing stones at anybody. Chrisley, or Todd, needs to stop lying to himself. The son, sure as fuck, needs to stop lying to himself. And apparently, they cut the daughter from whatever, remaining plastic surgery overlay that they had with the mother. I hate Chrisley knows best. And they have some hired help in the form of a daughter. Hooray! They look like the type that would have hired help, even though slavery's been illegal for a while. So, And we get Cedric and Shelton versus New Day for the Raw Tag Titles. Xavier getting it from both sides. Man, now he knows what it's like to be on the receiving end of tag team action. And it went long. Kofi kind of did a weird spot where it looked like Shelton was going to try to catch him with an uppercut, but he didn't, and Kofi just kind of toppled. It wasn't horrible, but it was noticeable. It was like, oh, okay, miscommunication. And then pay dirt for 3. Xavier again getting it from both sides. MVP was pretty good on commentary by this point. So they pinned the tag team champions, but not for the tag titles, apparently. I don't know why they didn't just do that for the tag titles and just switch it, because they're probably going to save it for the week before Survivor Series. The one night of the year where Raw and SmackDown go head-to-head. Nikki Cross finds Alexa. Lexa! Sorry to any of my Scottish friends. I apologize. But it's like, you can think for yourself. Bold of them to assume they would allow Alexa in this current stage to think for herself, when a lot of times it looks like she's just going through the motions, because she just has weird spoopy contacts and just that 1,000-yard stare, and she gets the spoopy contacts, and oh no. And nobody cares about, well, okay, if you guys care about any of this stuff, by the way, that's fine. It wasn't very good. But I give him credit for trying new things. I just don't care for it. And then we get Ricochet versus Tucker. New gear Tucker. Tucker looked miserable, and he got beat in a minute. Ali, by the way, coming to ringside, staying on the announcer's table, wondering what the fuck's going on. Thanks for coming, Tucker. You got beat. He's probably going to get released soon. I don't wish for anybody to lose their job, but my God. He's got to go. Retribution then attacks Ricochet. I had to get one of those in, because until he stops chasing something else to get away from being part of the former Team Vision dojo, I'm going to keep making fun of him. And then Sheamus wants Drew to join Team Raw. Ireland and Scotland fusing together. Fella? I have no idea. Drew versus Miz and Morrison. A Drew for One special. Man on man on man action. It happened. We get it eventually. I mean, Miz and Morrison are a decent enough team when they aren't doing the same bullshit over and over. And then we get a dive from Drew, and then soon after Claymore, 1, 2, 3, and then the second most devastating three letters, that is, however that's fucking said, RKO to Drew McIntyre. And then the Fiend left, and then we ended, and that's all I gotta fucking say about this. I'm gonna keep watching this stuff. I'm not gonna let it beat me. I think it already has, but you know what? Hell, it's fun to be, go mad. Like, we're all gonna go mad here eventually. We all go a little mad sometimes. Anyway, agree, disagree with what I said? Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.